I was just gonna fast travel there now that I was thinking about it. Here we go.
What's going on?
Good to see you, Danny.
Never ends.
Yeah? What?
So what's our next move, Father?
You got any ideas?
You're not listening. You're not listening. Shut your mouth. We have to hit Jose Tabasco. Get enough out of it now.
You're just gonna let this happen?
Long time coming, Danny. Montero Justicia.
Stop!
Your brother's a traitor.
See, and he'll spend the rest of his life making up for it. You ready to look in the mirror and admit your mistakes?
You first, Camila.
Fine. I voted for Castillo. I didn't want to, but Rivera was going to make us rich, wasn't it? Yes, I doubted you. All of you. I blamed you for not being guerrillas. But Papa was right. That faith, you gotta get it.
If you want to say, you have to think big. You know where it hurts. His tobacco fields. We tried that already.
No, all of his fields at once. Draw his soldiers out, leave him open. That's smart.
Well, lucky for us, Billy plans ahead. Me and the hero got you covered.
Good. We divide our forces. Targeted strikes, checkpoints, guard posts, everything. In and out. And then we hit that airbase hard. Now what the fuck are we still doing here? Dale. Y haremos hasta el final, Roberto. Hasta el final.
It's the weekend, mofos. I already got my drink going. About to roll this doobie. You know what time it is, bro. How you doing, man? You still at work or what?
So you flown this?
No, never. I don't feel the wheels in your belly. More support. You're a new one. Oh, you're gonna do my soundtrack. Very much.
You know what this feels like?
We need you back at camp. What's going on? We need to figure out next steps. On it. See you soon, Espada.
Alright, so going back to that camp area, I'm just gonna fly over there. What I was gonna say though, this feels like, if you look at the journal, it feels like maybe there's like an end game for each of these characters, right? Let's just go to operations so we don't get confused. Alright, so let's do like as the rank thing climbs, I'm guessing like
Not
you do
the
this
new
in
management
5
position?
or whatever.
That's what's up, bro. Congratulations. You know, with a higher position and more pay, that shit come more stress and more craziness, man. I just got a different position at my job. Well, technically I start Monday coming. Oh damn, not the. Oh, they just changed your title. Wow. Oh, you got to do all of this now. But technically, it's not a promotion. It's just you're moving laterally, not upward. I don't want no lateral movement. I want to move up the ladder, not to the ladder right beside me on the same fucking rung. Oh, damn. Not McAfee. I sold all my McAfee stocks, man. That shit dropping like a bitch. I see why they need new management and new help over there. Oh yeah, it's a little bit past 4:20, but it's all good. We still gonna cook this thing, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I got a new episode of the show is up. It's kind of warm in here, man, but that fan gonna blow my damn butt. Let me show you guys my new episode. Yeah, you know. Let's see here. You know why? Cause I'm famous as fuck, son. Famous as fuck, boy. Oh, and then I did some other shit yesterday too. Watch this. Watch this real quick. Watch this real quick. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, I gotta go to Instagram. Hold on. Did he not? I thought he posted that up there. Alright, so hold on. Let me find this thing. Yeah, that's me doing my little catwalk. You know, you understand me?
Oh yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Little model type shit. Yeah, yeah, me. It's a little modeling I did. It'll be for all the wrong reasons. Today, Columbia, South Carolina man went on a rampage, killing 37 people. Puff? What? Don't get famous for the wrong reason. Motherfucker gonna be famous for hacking into some Russian motherfucking millionaires' accounts or some shit. Oh, might have rolled that too tight. You know, that's a little too tight. Mm-hmm. This is true. Anonymity is the name of the game. Welcome to another episode of Electric City Television's Roundtable Discussions. I'm your host, Travis Prince, and today my guest is Eric Bassart. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Hey Travis, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. So, really big honor to have you here. You're kind of like one of my favorite local artists. So, for the viewers who aren't familiar with you, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from, where you grew up at, what school you went to, some things like that.
Sweet, thanks man. My name's Eric Blessart. I'm a local illustrator and mural artist. I grew up in Ambler, little town outside of Philly. I've been doing murals mostly in the Scranton area for the last 4 or 5 years, here and there. Yeah, I do that, illustration, painting, freelance, things like that.
So, where did you go to school at?
Sweet. I went to college at Marywood University
Nice.
for about 4 years. I graduated with a BFA in illustration, which is really helpful. There's some really good teachers there. They have great facilities, and it just gave me the foundation to like really explore my own style and my artwork going forward after that.
Nice. So, BA in art. So, you're like a legit artist. Like, you're really
Yeah. No one's ever asked me to see that. It doesn't really matter. It's how good are you at painting.
So you've been an artist your whole life, like since childhood, like that art kid, and just grew up into it, or is it something that you discovered later in life?
Oh no, absolutely. Like since I can remember, like I've always been like the most like extra kid in each art class I've been in since like kindergarten or like first grade. I was like really just I do it all the time. Like I have like pretty terrible ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
So like kind of concentrate on what like the people were saying in class. The teachers, I would just draw. It sort of anchored my mind there. So I would just draw.
Yo, he's a funny guy, yo. He can bust some jokes, but he's like a little square, a little bit. Not really, but a little square. And this is why it's so hard for me to get guests on our show. People are nervous as fuck to talk on camera. But then it's the weirdest thing. You see people Instagram feeds and their Facebook posts and all that shit, and they don't mind like talking to the camera themselves and doing all this other shit. But then when you get them in like a setting like this, and it's just me. There's not like 50 people asking a question. It's just me and them, and I'm asking them questions about themselves. It's not like a pop quiz like, oh, I'm gonna ask you a question that you don't know. It's every question I ask is about you. Where are you from? What's your favorite artist? What's your favorite paintbrush? These are all questions that you have answers to. Like, I'm only asking about you. So people just get apprehensive like, oh, what if I mess up? What if I don't know the answer to a question? What if I do whatever? I don't know. And it's really difficult for me to get people on my show. That's pretty good though. That your face isn't all out there like that. Motherfucker is the Wizard of Oz, literally. You know what I'm saying? The man behind the curtain. Yep. The man behind the curtain. I feel sleepy as fuck right now, yo. I ain't even gonna lie. Yo, then I got my cousin coming. He already on the road right now, yo. My cousin about to come stay the weekend with me. I don't know what the hell we gonna do, but can say. It's so boring around here, really, yo. There's not a lot of shit to do, honestly. And I've been trying to think for like a couple of days, like, what the fuck can we do when we get here? I don't know. Facial recognition tools. That's what I was thinking, bro. Just like chill at the crib, man. Just get some beers and cook out. Try to find a dope ass funny movie or something. Or my cousin's a big ass gamer too, yo. Like he's a bigger gamer than I am. Like he got the PlayStation VR. He got the Oculus Rift. He has a big fat gaming PC. He has all the PlayStations and Xboxes and like he's a really avid gamer, yo. So I don't think that a weekend of vegging out, just fucking smoking and drinking and playing video games, I don't think that'd be too terrible. But definitely still got to get out and do like something. I don't care if we just go like hit the roller skating rink or fucking go walk some of the nice hiking walking trails or something. Or at least just chill in the backyard on the grill. Got to find something to do, even if it's nothing. A national park, yeah. We got well, we got a couple of state parks that's really close by. We probably go to a state park somewhere. Okay, you're in the club. Girls taking. You ain't even know you was in the picture. And then what? Motherfucking can track you down. Know your whereabouts. That's why I don't be in the clubs no more, man. Like my circle's so small, and I done got so boring. I don't like to do a lot of other shit other than sit in the studio and paint. Or like my cousin, just like, cause I got the video games and shit too. I already just sit home and play video games. Fuck it. Y'all can have all that clubbing and shit, man. I'm too old for that shit, though. That shit is played out. Yep. I got ashes on the damn thing. Alright, so I'm still lettering this cigar wrapper. So that's probably what I work on for a while. There's some black letters that need to go in there. Yeah, he got stabbed to death in a church. And yesterday, some dude in Norway killed like 5 people with a bow. Katniss Everdeen. You gotta be good with a bow. That motherfucker killed 5 people. And then the motherfucking member of parliament gets stabbed to death. And then motherfuckers like, we need to ban guns. We need to ban guns. Yo, guns don't kill people. People kill people. Motherfucking silent attack, nigga. Motherfuckers don't know how versatile a bow is. That shit don't make no noise. You don't know that shit coming, nigga. You don't know that arrow just... Oh, what the fuck? Yeah. Motherfucker be a camouflage in the bush. You don't even see where that bitch come from. You just dead. I'm telling you, man. A police officer got arrested. For what? Now you got me wanting to turn the news back on. Yeah, they stabbed that man to death. What?
Rockstar is being a little too quiet about the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition.
See, now I don't even want to watch my own show no more. I want to watch some other shit. I don't know, I just seen the IGN and the fucking they definitely got a fucking clickbait title for that shit.
Is this place?
Another triplet.
That was the first thing I got my son, yo. He was like 7. I got him a slingshot, but it was like not a really expensive one, but not a cheap one either. It was the one that had the arm brace, and it had like the thick rubber sling and the fucking like a leather cup on that shit. It wasn't no old plastic like this shit. It was plastic, but that shit was like some hard industrial plastic with the fucking forearm brace on that shit, yo. And like I say, the cup on that shit was fucking leather, and that shit was a weapon. And I told his ass that like, pew, hit a can, like that can be somebody's head, and just how it dent and put a hole in that can, you can fuck somebody up with this shit. It's fun to play with and shoot little rocks at shit, but you can kill something with this shit, yo. And he always looked at that shit like as a weapon, yo. You know what I'm saying? I started him out with a slingshot, then I got him a bow, and then I got him a BB gun. By the time he was 11 years old, motherfucker know how to shoot, yo. I was gonna get him a 22 rifle, cause you can get a 13-year-old a 22 rifle for hunting purposes. But his mom was like, nah, she ain't want him to have no gun. But anyway. Not the rose gold PS5. Ooh. How much they want for that? You know what I'm saying? By the time you 7 or 8, Hey, you can get your first weapon, man. Give him a fucking slingshot. Huh. Go practice your aim. You know what I'm saying? Hand-eye coordination. Start practicing that shit now. 7, 8 years old, you need to know how to do something. He said the rose gold 5. I ain't gonna lie, yo. I've never liked rose gold. Not for jewelry or nothing like that. Like, it just don't, I don't know. It looks bronze or whatever. It's just like, nigga, that's copper. Nah, it's rose gold. Oh, okay. I get it. My homie had a rose gold grill. It's just like, your shit look tarnished, nigga. I get it. Oh, I got that platinum. It looks silver. Why don't you just get silver? You know? Nah, this ain't silver. This is platinum. Okay, so what? Oh, you found it on YouTube? I mean, you might as well just take the case off your own PS5. I'm looking in here like my shit up here, yo. But just take the case off the PS5 and just dip that shit or paint that shit or whatever yourself, yo. Yo, my cousin, he been on the road for 3 hours and only made it like 100 miles because the traffic is so thick, and he hit like 2 accidents. So this clip right here is titled "The Original GTA Trilogy Will Disappear This Week." IGN Daily Fix. The original trilogy of GTA is gonna disappear. Like how? How is it gonna disappear? What do you mean that the original trilogy? But then I just had to rethink my damn self. Like I just had to, I don't know, the first 3 times I said the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. For some reason, I'm thinking the first game I'm thinking about is Grand Theft Auto 3. And I'm like, that's not right though, because that's the 3rd installment, and they had 2 or was there 3 PC versions? Grand Theft Auto 1, Grand Theft Auto 2. I think they had something like a titled Grand Theft Auto on PC. Grand Theft Auto, did they already do like Liberty City or something city on the PC? I can't really remember. And then they brought it to console with Grand Theft Auto 3. So what are they saying? Like the original PC series, they're gonna discontinue or not make it anymore, or are you talking about the first 3 on the console?
Action Adventure Remake is on the way, and Nintendo wants to protect you from yourself. This is the Daily Fix. The existing versions of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas will be removed from digital storefronts this week. Fans are generally not too crazy about it.
Whoa. Alright, so honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, yo. I'm not gonna lie. There's a part on here that is just killing me. I cringe every time I look at it. My lettering is never perfect. The letters, they don't have to be perfect. They just got to look good enough. But clearly, like, this Swisher Sweet, like, I could have just put the S over a little bit this way to kind of center it a little bit more. I'm really thinking about just whiting that shit out and doing it over again. That Sweets. Because look how... I don't know, man. It just looks like it's too close to this edge. And it should go that way some. Just like a schmidget. But I couldn't move the words over without, like, just taking it all the way off and just doing it from scratch again. Son of a bitch. But you see what I mean, though? Or if I leave the ETS and then just do the SWE and like move these over some. No, I don't know. Oh my fucking God, bro. And I sat there and painted all that shit. And then as soon as I get to the last, when I got to the T, I'm like, this isn't looking straight at all. And I still painted the S. And then I just left it up there like, I don't like it. And I am going to change it. And I fucked this up real bad too. Like, look how close this word is to the red, and then look how close the last letter is to the red. Like, that gap is way smaller than this. And so, like, the letters are going up. But I think I can fix that by chopping off some of the red. And if I just even the red out, then I won't have to redo those letters. I know. I'm fucking this piece up, yo. I think I'm too anxious and excited trying to get this shit done because I want it done for first Friday. Matter of fact, what's today's date? It's the 15th. Technically, I got 7 days to get this done because it'll need at least a week to dry. So I gotta have this shit done in like the next 7 days. And I really don't want to rework this shit, but I want it to be very impressive, even to other artists. And so in order for that to happen, my lettering, once again, the lettering don't have to be perfect, but it has to be a little bit better than that, I feel. I'm killing myself right now. So the first thing we're going to do, guys, is fucking erase this shit. My God. So, let's...
As announced when GTA Trilogy The Definitive Edition was revealed, Rockstar is delisting older versions across all digital stores the week of October 11th. The developer still hasn't explained why. At the time of this taping, the original games are available on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, but it's not clear for how long. We've contacted Rockstar to see if we can find out. The decision to remove the original games has sparked a lot of discussion, particularly around the issue of video game preservation. Games, particularly of the legendary status of the GTA series, are as much pieces of history for the medium as they are interactive experiences, and reducing access to them is detrimental to future players and developers' ability to play and learn from them. Another concern among fans is the order in which all this is happening. The Definitive Edition versions of the games still don't have a release date, and very few details about their content have been revealed. Many fans are upset at not being able to make an informed choice between the older versions or the newer ones before the current crop is pulled. While the hope is for better looking, better playing games, we currently only have Rockstar's word to go on. Reddit user Exploded Bagel has a good point. On the GTA subreddit, they wrote, "I've been racking my brain trying to remember any other instance of a company announcing a remake or remaster, not giving any actual details about the project, then removing the original versions before even telling people what the new ones will be like. I really think this might be a first." Another major worry for fans is how the definitive editions will handle licensed music. Previous re-releases of the GTA trilogy have seen sections of their iconic soundtracks removed due to expired licenses, and some players are worried that the same could happen here. Rockstar has also been silent on that point. Shout out to the Vice City soundtrack, one of the greatest licensed music soundtracks of all time.
Yes.
There's also the very real possibility
I will agree with that,
new
yo.
versions of the game will be significantly more
I
expensive.
think one of the best video game soundtracks ever is Vice City, yo. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, yo. Like, I'm not even from that era. That's not even my type of music. And they just had all the fucking jams on that shit, yo. Like, that shit just jammed all the way through, yo. Like, what the fuck, yo? Oh, I hated to have to do that, but I had to, man. Like, that shit wasn't going. I ain't gonna lie, yo. That shit wasn't gonna work out. Left hand bandit. Watch that motherfucker right hand, yo. Watch his right hand, yo. I'm telling you right now.
Than the older ones. If that ends up being the case, many will see delisting the older versions as a cynical attempt to force people to pay more. Now, no doubt, many are excited to see these classic games re-released in new form. I am. But with no release dates or even a glimpse at what these definitive editions look like yet, many fans are taking this last opportunity to buy the older versions before they're gone. Hey, I haven't played these games in a long time, since each one was originally released, so I'm excited to revisit them, and I hope this trilogy is a great package that does right by these incredible games. But if it turns out to be a basic repackaging that costs more, well, that'll be a little shady. We'll find out soon enough. Virtuos is a game development support studio that contributed to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the Switch port of Outer Worlds, and Astral Chain. It also provided VFX work on big movies like Captain Marvel, the live-action Aladdin, and Terminator Dark Fate, which sucked. Now, Virtuos is rumored to be working on the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. In addition to that, an employee has confirmed that the developer is working on an unannounced AAA action-adventure game remake. As reported by VGC, one of its readers noticed that a lead programmer at Virtuos references the AAA remake in their LinkedIn profile. The project appears to have been in development since 2018. The remake is said to include 4K support on certain platforms, as well as AAA quality art production and set-piece destruction. While it isn't yet clear what game this is referring to, reports surfaced earlier this month suggesting that Konami is planning remasters of the original Metal Gear Solid games, as well as that potential full remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So, a remake of a AAA action-adventure game with set-piece destruction. Red Faction? The Force Unleashed? They did work on Fallen Order. Ah, I've got it. Another LucasArts game, Fracture. If you know, you know. And finally today, as many around the world have begun enjoying their brand new Nintendo Switch OLED models, some have noticed that it comes with a protective screen already on it. According to Nintendo, it should not be removed as it could protect you from any harm should the new glass screen break. This anti-scattering adhesive film is a new addition to the console, as the original Switch and Switch Lite had no need for it. Their screens were made of plastic, whereas the OLED model is glass. If the new screen were to break, shards of sharp glass could cause harm. This protective screen will help prevent any damage to the user. It will also help prevent any scratches on the screen. The Nintendo Switch OLED model was released on Friday, October 8th, alongside Metroid Dread, and man oh man, that is a good Metroid game. But if you're playing it on an OLED, just leave that screen protector right where it is. Don't want you cutting your gaming hands. These are important. I'm David Hatfield, and that's your Daily Fix for October 11th. Check out this video on 6 ways Far Cry 6 changes the series, and for all your gaming news, stay tuned to IGN.
Is this place?
We must come together and defeat them.
House of Ashes. Alright, so who watched Squid Games? Huh? 456? 101? 001? No? Y'all didn't watch Squid Games? Oh, man. 456, nigga. Alright, I ain't gonna lie, y'all really did not want to do that. But let's just clean it up and get it right. So, like I said, that shit ain't gotta be perfect. It gotta be a little bit better than that. Damn, man. Like, damn. You supposed to be a professional artist, nigga. You letting that kind of shit slide? I don't think so. Supposed to be professional. That's why and that shit right there, bro. That shit is kind of killing me too, yo. Shit, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Fucking this painting up. Trying to paint too fast. Fucking this painting up. Trying to paint too fast. Now it look like ass. I got paint right on my glass. But still at last, I'm fucking this painting up. Fucking this painting up. Trying to move too fast. Fucking this painting up. That color ain't light enough. Trying to move too fast. Yes. Now I'm fucking this painting up. I'm fucking this painting up. Fucking this painting up. Dun 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 dun. Trying to move too fast. Can't let that shit pass. Fucking this painting up. Man, I'm fucking this painting up. Alright, and I envisioned it something like that. You see how I did that? Ooh, they boy. Are you able to paint the Mona Lisa? Man, look, bro. I can paint anything I see, bro. Oh, I think y'all missed that. My bad. I ain't had the camera to the right. He said everybody paintings look like self-portraits. How? I mean, all my paintings are of me. Most of them. I paint myself a lot. I paint myself more than the average artist. I can guarantee you that. That ain't even no lie. But I like it that way. You know why? Shit. Look at me, man. Look at me. Huh? If y'all look like this, wouldn't you paint yourself too if you could paint? Come on, be for real now. Be for real. Just be honest. If you had the amazing ability to render detailed artwork just using brush and colors, and you were extremely handsome, would you not paint yourself? No? No? Shit. I don't know, man. It might just be me, nigga. I make my dog all the time. Self-portrait party. Self-portrait party. Self-portrait party. I'm just about to paint myself. And then after I paint myself, I'll probably paint another picture of myself. And then one more time. Just for good measure. And then one more time for the road. And then one more time for my mama. And then one more time for my cousin. Just gonna keep painting myself. All these self-portraits is amazing. I'm just trying to be honest, you know. you know. I'm uber handsome, yo. So I like to paint myself, man.
What are you doing? Come on.
Where you at, yo? What's up? I see you when you get back. You about to leave?
Hmm?
I see you when you get back. You get kissed where you go? No?
Come on.
Yo, my brush looking crazy. Alright. I might need to get some more of this red. Red dead. Oh. Are you able to paint the Mona Lisa and sell it? This is a very good question. Because I don't know. I'm not actually sure about that, honestly. To like completely like try to reproduce it as it is. I mean, people put all kind of spins on the Mona Lisa, and they're able to sell those. You know, and they can look damn near like the original piece, and just have like some little slight variation to it, and then they can sell it. But I don't know. I really doubt if you can just reproduce the Mona Lisa and then sell that shit. And like, and then call it the Mona Lisa. You know. I mean, I wouldn't even attempt to do that anyway, because for some reason, I like this thing called originality. So I really don't try to copy anybody else's shit. Or I mean, I can take like bits and pieces from different techniques and styles, but I'm not just gonna like try to copy your imagery. You know, especially if it's already a painting or something. Like now, there are some photographers that I've worked with who taking like extremely pictures, and I asked them, "Hey, can I paint this?" And they're cool with it, you know. And so I've worked with like two professional photographers before, and then I've actually hired a local photographer to photograph some stuff for me. I had a commission to do once, and it was a pretty good price commission. But at the time, I didn't have the model that I needed to actually get the painting done. So I had to hire a photographer. So I don't mind using like another photographer's work or something like that, but it still needs to be like original. This line right here is gonna fucking kill me. This little thin line. All right. I don't know if I need a smaller brush than this or not. I wonder if this brush can do it. Oh, I'm gonna need some more black paint.
So yesterday, Governor Abbott, Dreamboat, he banned vaccine mandates in the entire state of Texas.
Heck yeah.
So no entity in Texas can compel receipt of a COVID-19 vaccination by any individual, including an employee or consumer who objects to such vaccination for any reason of personal conscience. Now, keep this in mind. Of course, the left is saying, how dare they? When the left, and I mean this is not whataboutism, but this is important because remember the Hobby Lobby story? So right now, all this is saying is you cannot be compelled, you cannot be forced to take the vaccine. And by the way, Abbott said the vaccine is safe and effective and people should use it, but it should be voluntary. That's what he said, to be clear. So leftists are mad that he is blocking a mandate to force you to get a vaccine. They were also furious that Hobby Lobby, they were demanding that Hobby Lobby be forced to pay for not the 16 forms of birth control that they covered, but all 21. Hobby Lobby was opposed to, I'm going by rote, either 3 or 4 forms of birth control. They covered 16 because they believed these were abortificants, which took place after fertilization, right? And the left said, no, 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 we want to compel Hobby Lobby to provide, not 16, 21 forms of birth control. And now they are appalled that you have a governor blocking a mandate to take a vaccine. They want control over every... Stay out of my bedroom. Don't make me pay for it.
Right. Stay out of my arm. I get to make
that choice. It's a pandemic of the unvaccinated. You're going to kill... Let the Republicans kill off their voter base.
Right, exactly.
What do you care? Oh, that's right. You're frustrated because you took a vaccine that sucks.
Right. Well, he also said, look, you have to take into account the fact that people have had COVID and recovered from it, right? Just like they do in other countries, right? So he didn't just say you can opt out of it, which is a huge win. I mean, I don't think people understand how big of a deal that is. And I hope other governors follow suit and do it by executive order, do it by something that can't be overturned by the whims of people on the left or challenged. do it in a way that people can depend on it, because people right now are expecting to get fired in the next month.
And do it in a way that hurts.
Yeah.
By the way, also, while we're talking about this, in Italy, protests are going on all over the country. You guys may not be paying attention to this. The last thing you heard of Italy was when they had the worst, one of the worst death rates in the world. But now they're having these green pass, basically vaccine passports coming into play. And the protests, I mean, it's not quite Australia, but this is a big deal, and Americans aren't talking about it. Here.
What started off as a restless yet peaceful protest sparked a tinderbox as demonstrators stormed the headquarters of Italy's biggest trade union. Some were neo-fascists. They shout freedom from a national vaccine mandate. Starting next weekend, Italians are required to show proof of vaccination, recovery, or a negative COVID test in order to enter the workplace, the strictest such law in the world.
Well, it's not just enter the workplace. It's all museums, theaters, gyms, indoor restaurants, trains, buses, any domestic flights. So this is basically to live in Italy. Look, when
you don't stop an Italian from going to the gym.
Whenever anyone says we need to be more like Europe, look, obviously you need to take stories and countries. You need to take them individually.
Yeah.
But my blanket sentiment is no.
Yeah.
Because
immediate
they've never gotten it right. Yeah. Mussolini wasn't that long ago in the realm of human history. You're screwing up again, Italy, and the people realize it. This is where you have that divide. Yeah. It's the government doesn't realize that they're sort of inching towards that, but the people are like, oh no, we already had this, and our guy was the worst one. He was. Mussolini was Hitler. Mussolini was Hitler, Guevara, all those types of guys. Just Pol Pot without the ability.
Right, exactly. He was a very small guy. He had to kill a lot more people to get control.
Yeah,
but I think
But none of them respected him.
No,
Hitler was like, yeah, Mussolini, yeah, we'll partner with you.
I mean, they hung him at the end of the war, so so I think they also misunderstand fascism, because they were like, and some of them are neo-fascists and chanting freedom. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? That's the complete opposite of what fascism is. Antifa doesn't understand what fascism is, and Italians don't understand it. It's like, come on, guys, this was your whole raison d'etre.
Yeah, no, that right? Well, you say it in French, right? Yes, not Italian.
Yeah, I know.
No, it is fascist. Doesn't everyone remember Hitler saying, I want you to go out there and make your voices heard and don't let the SS control you. You are your own person. Be free.
I do remember. I have it tattooed on me.
Right. Think about this first. No, that's the electrical company.
That's a different thing, yeah.
Think about this. They've been wrong about it always. Germany. All world wars. Italy.
Come on, Germany.
Germany made some mistakes, but people, when I say to people, this is the longest standing constitutional republic, democratic republic in existence, they go, what do you mean? France had to retool everything. So did Germany. So did Italy. Multiple times since the United States' inception. Sure, we've made corrections, but we still have the same system of government. Why? Because it relies on self-governance and the freedom of the individual before the rights of intrusion of the state. That's why we're standing the longest. People, and it's ironic because you go to Europe and everything's older and crappier, mind you. But the truth is, people go to Europe to look at the beautiful things that were, right? You go on a tour and it's fun to visit, and it's the same way in Montreal, where I'm from in a lot of ways. They come to America to be a part of the beautiful thing that is, okay? And I don't know why we'd want to go back to the countries that cannot avoid repeating history.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Tell us about what you're doing, because what we're all trying to figure out is what's the secret sauce.
Mad Rabbit was formulated with 7 all-natural ingredients that keep tattoos looking vibrant and prevent discoloration.
As you can see, the skin immediately responds to application, restoring their ink back to the vibrant works of art they were meant to be.
Wow. You guys are the real tattoo.
Greg Gutfeld, hammering home a comparison that more and more people have.
Yesterday, Governor Abbott...
So we've got Brett in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Thanks for waiting.
Hey. Hey. I just wanted to quickly ask why it was that even though there is no evidence for a higher being.
Hello? Seems like we might have lost Brent. If we can try and get him back on, that'd be great, but I'd say there we go.
Okay. Okay. So even though there is no evidence for a higher being, how, like, what is it that brings you to the conclusion?
So
or if it doesn't?
So you just gave the reason. Okay. So atheism, and there's a lot of disagreement and arguing about the term. Some of it's taken place even over Facebook. I've got a debate opponent that I've done two debates with, and we'll talk to more, who tries to say that atheism only means I believe there are no gods, full stop. And I completely disagree with that. But the reason, as you point out, there's no evidence for a higher power, supreme being. That is enough to not believe. I mean, the burden of proof is on the claim that there is a God. If the burden of proof hasn't been met and you may be incapable of meeting it, then no one should be believing. The time to believe something is after it's been demonstrated to be true. So generally speaking, atheists are people who do not believe or who reject the proposition. Hopefully they reject it because there's not sufficient evidence for it. That's not everybody's reason. There are people who are, atheists for bad reasons. There are people who are atheists for other good reasons as well. But I find it strange that somebody could start off by saying, even though there's not evidence for this, why don't you believe it? I mean, that is the reason.
I agree, but your stance on so as an atheist, do you believe in anything other than, I guess, the material? Or, do you believe that something else is held accountable for thought process?
Okay, so atheism is only about whether or not a God exists. It's entirely possible that someone could be an atheist and believe in something supernatural other than a God.
Like ghosts, for example.
Yes.
Ghosts, and there are some atheists who buy into all sorts of bullshit, woo-woo, pseudo-scientific claims for bad reasons. I don't. I don't believe that, I do not believe that there's anything other than the material world, for the same reason that I don't believe in a God. There's been no demonstration that there's anything other than the material world. I can't speak for everybody or every atheist, but as I'm an atheist because I'm a skeptic, because I evaluate the evidence for the claims about gods and the claims about supernatural. They don't meet their burden of proof. There's no good reason to believe them, and so I don't. And as soon as somebody provides a way, first of all, they'd have to provide a mechanism by which we can investigate and confirm the supernatural, because science is limited in the sense that it can't investigate those things without a mechanism, without a method, and nobody's provided a method. So until that happens, I don't see how anybody can rationally accept anything supernatural. They need a method to investigate it, because otherwise it just becomes argument from ignorance fallacies of, hey, I had this experience and there's no other explanation other than it was a ghost or it was a demon or it was a god. Well, the fact that you aren't aware of a particular explanation doesn't mean that your conclusion about it is correct. So that, once again, we're back to the time to believe something is after it's been demonstrated.
And just the last point, do you believe that there's something else that we can hold accountable for our own thoughts other than the material world? Because if the material world is the only, or rather what we can observe is the only, I don't know really how to put this, the only factor or the only thing that causes thought to occur, then it's all predetermined what we think.
Okay, so
even though that it is a complex mind.
That's not necessarily true. I mean, just so you're basically advocating for, if the material world is all there is, then hard determinism is true. That's not necessarily the case, which is why there have been debates about whether hard determinism is true or soft determinism is true. There are a bunch of different views on this, but it doesn't matter ultimately. So I'm a thinking agent. My brain works and it does things. Okay? It's possible under hard determinism that everything that I've done is dictated by the physical laws of the universe, that there is no such thing as free will as people would normally describe it. That doesn't in any way change the fact that it's this particular meat sack that is responsible for those actions, that is responsible for those thoughts. Just like if I've got 20 computers on a network, if, you know, I don't know that we would say that any of those computers have any free will or have any way to escape the limitations of the material world. The one that has got the virus on it that is polluting the network, that's the one that's responsible, and you go and you fix that. There's an entirely practical method by which you can go about evaluating these things. If you appeal to something supernatural, first of all, you don't have any justification for doing so. But if you do, how does that change or fix the problem? Like, for example, if I'm not just a brain that is producing consciousness and taking action, but there's actually a soul that is steering this brain, how does that fix any of the problems that you're concerned about?
Well, where I was coming from was that our thoughts could or could not be changed, or rather manipulated by our choices, because of course there wouldn't be another way.
Sure, our experience plays into our choices. Absolutely. People change their mind, they change their... I'm a different person now than I was 20 years ago. Aren't you?
Well, yes.
I mean, I don't know how old you are, assuming you're over 20. I would say that you're different than you were 20 years ago. And you've changed your mind on things, right?
I have.
So...
Or at least I thought I think
sure.
I have.
It does. So this idea that there's some you that isn't bound by the material world that is responsible for changing your mind, it's a neat idea, but there's no reason to think that it's true, and I don't see how it fixes anything. I don't see how it changes the fact that, you know, you're the one talking to me, whether you were predetermined to call the show today and say the thing that you were going to say is a completely separate issue from the impact that your words and this discussion has on each of us and everybody else who's listening.
Well, I agree.
Okay.
It's not that I don't think that it has an impact, it's just that it makes it pointless. What
do you mean pointless?
Well, if you can't choose, if it is an illusion somehow created, then it kind of makes it pointless. In my...
I'm asking, what do you mean by pointless? Because you've agreed that even without appealing to the supernatural, minds can change. And that I don't think we explicitly hit this point, but I think you would agree that one of the ways minds change is by having conversations and debates. And by presenting different evidence and, you know, different arguments. Isn't that how minds tend to change?
Yeah.
Okay, so then even if it was all predetermined, well, first of all, if it's all predetermined, then, okay, it was predetermined that you would think it's pointless, at least for now. And that doesn't change a thing. You're stuck. So if you don't have the type of free will that you'd like to have, or if you do, nothing changes. Because if you don't have it, there's nothing you can do about it, and you either accept it or you don't, and you don't have any say in that. Or if you do have it, then you're still in this position where you need to be convinced, and minds change.
Let me jump in here if you don't mind.
Especially the point.
I think that one of the things that theists struggle with is, with God there's a grand purpose with a capital P, a purpose, and everything has meaning, and it's all part of God's plan, and all this good stuff. And without that, you don't have a grand purpose anymore, a grand capital P, but you have small p purpose, where each individual is making decisions for themselves and how they impact the world and these sorts of things, and the legacy they leave and these sorts of things. And this is where we atheists hang our hats. It's the impact that we have on the world and the people we love and the children we have and these sorts of things. These are the things that are small p purpose, and we don't even have a need for a grand p purpose, and we don't see that there is such a thing.
And we wouldn't want it. And I think it's true that Brent wouldn't want it either. So, for example, I don't know how old you are, what your current situation is, but let's say that you were going to college. Would you rather pick your own major, or would you rather have that assigned to you by the college or the state or your parents?
Well, I would like to pick my major.
Sure. Now, when it comes time for you to
pick a mate,
would you rather have that dictated to you by other people, or would you rather, do it on your own?
My own.
Okay. So if that's the case, what is the appeal of having a God outside of the universe that is dictating a meaning and purpose for everybody? If it's something that we would reject and revolt against in every other circumstance, what makes it good when there's a God doing it?
Well, no, I don't believe that God. Well, that would make it pointless as well if God was doing everything for you.
Well, so you don't think that God has a plan?
Well, no, you can have a plan without controlling what other people.
Does God know everything that's going to happen?
I believe.
Okay.
That, yes.
Did God create the universe?
I believe that.
Could he have created a different universe?
Well, he could have.
Okay, so then he specifically chose to create the universe in which I'm an atheist and you're not. So how did I have a choice in this? If God picked this universe from other possible universes, how did I have a choice? How is it not the case that God specifically chose the universe in which I would be an atheist?
Well, that's the whole reason for my belief, is because I believe that you are your own individual being, and
but that means that I could do things that God didn't choose. I mean, okay. Well, then he doesn't know.
I believe I've led myself. I don't know exactly what.
So see, the thing is, if there's a God who created the universe and who could have created different universes, that means he made a decision to create this specific universe knowing exactly what would happen.
Unless he's throwing dice, right?
I mean, unless he doesn't know what's going to happen, and he said, oh, I could make this universe or I could make that universe. I don't know what's going to happen in either of them, in which case, as Don pointed out, he's throwing dice. But if he chose this particular universe from other alternate universes, knowing what would happen in both of them, then he's the one who made the decisions, not us. Well, let me skip past that because it tends to be a stumbling block. When you say all this is pointless, what is the purpose of your life, and where did it come from?
Well, what I was trying to stress on was that if I am my own individual being, and I am experiencing reality.
Okay.
Because if, of course, I wasn't my own thinking being, I wouldn't know whether or not I was experiencing that reality.
Solipsism, right?
Wait, would you know it in the other case? I mean, you're saying if this is true, I wouldn't know. If something else was true, would you know? Or isn't that just an unknown? So
I'm afraid I'm not catching on.
You're afraid what?
I'm afraid I'm not catching on.
Okay. So you're saying if you weren't your own person, or steering your own ship or making your own decisions, then you wouldn't know. Well, I'll drop this because it's confusing. You said that it's pointless, and I still don't know what you mean by that or why.
Well, what I mean by pointless is that there's no point in believing that we have our own decisions if there isn't something else that governs over that
Why?
decision.
So, to me, that's backwards. So, first of all, whether or not there's any point to believing we make our own decisions, I'm not sure what you mean by point or why it's important, but when you say that if we don't make our own, if there wouldn't be a point to this if we didn't make our own decisions, would there be a point to it if we did?
Yes.
What would the point be?
The point is that you're choosing the path that you lead.
Okay.
And
how is that fundamentally different, and why is it valued?
Well,
because if you can't tell, can you tell the difference between whether or not you have free will or whether or not you have an illusion of free will?
no, that's the reason.
Okay, so if you can't tell the difference between it, then that would seem to imply that from your perspective, they are indistinguishable, and yet you want to say one of them has a point and one of them doesn't. I don't know what the point is. I mean, other than saying, which is what I think you're saying, it would be nice to think that my actions are not predetermined. And it might be nice to think that, but I'm only concerned about whether or not it's true. It would be nice to think I'm going to live forever. It would be nice to think I'm getting ready to win the lottery.
Well, I don't really want to know what's nice to think. I'd rather know what it is definitely.
Okay. Me too. I'd love to know what's true.
Yes, sir.
So, if you admit that you can't tell the difference, you have no way to tell which of these two scenarios is true, then you can't have any good reason to believe one over the other. So your position must be, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
So
how can you be a theist?
Well, it's because I believe that there is.
Okay. How do you tell the difference between a universe that is theistic and a universe that is not theistic?
You can't.
Okay. So if you can't tell the difference,
I don't think that you can.
If you can't tell the difference, then what justification can you have for believing that it is a theistic universe?
That you are. Well,
I'll help you out. You can't. If you're acknowledging that you can't tell the difference between two things, then you're acknowledging that you cannot then choose one of those two things and be rationally justified in doing so. You can certainly be convinced of something for bad reasons, but if you care about what's true, then you would want to be convinced for good reasons. And if the truth is that you can't tell the difference between these two possibilities, then your position is you shouldn't believe.
Right, the honest answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I can't tell.
See, the atheist position is not necessarily gods are false, there are no gods. Certainly you can have that position rationally about some gods. If they are prone to internal contradictions or their definitions conflict with observations in reality, if they are logically impossible, things like that. But for an unfalsifiable proposition of God, unfalsifiable meaning there's no way to demonstrate that this is false, then you can't be rationally justified in believing it. And that's the atheist position in many cases. I do not believe this because there is a way to tell that it's true. I know that sounded like I was going to say something else in addition, but I figured it'd be better to stop there.
Well, I think a lot of folks come to their theism because they were sort of brought up in that environment, and I think it takes some exploration and understanding to even pose these questions and ask these questions and mull this all over. And it sounds like you're sort of in the process of doing that, which is
yes, that's my effort, because the direction that I wanted to steer this in was that we create the concepts that we have depending on what we observe.
Okay.
Is that false? I don't.
So we create the concepts based on what we observe. I think that that's fair. We observe things and our brain conceptualizes them, sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure where to go from there.
Yeah, me neither. All right.
Okay. Well, hey, do some more thinking about it. If you have other questions, by all means, feel free to call back. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Brett. Hey, John in London. Thanks for waiting.
Oh, thanks. Yes, lovely to talk to you both. I've seen quite a few of your videos on YouTube.
There's a few out there.
Yeah, they're very good. I enjoy listening to you both.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to talk a bit about evolution and the origins of life.
Okay.
Yeah, so first of all, life coming about by chance or life coming about by intelligent design.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there's only one truth, and beliefs count for nothing. So one of those conclusions is the truth, and one of them is incorrect.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think those are probably the only two possibilities. One, that it did not happen by intelligent design, and the other, that it did happen by intelligent design. Those are the only two possibilities. One of them is true, and what you believe about it doesn't impact which one is true at all. I'm with you.
Yeah, okay, so I'm on the side of intelligent design, leading to there being God. But on the side of life coming about by chance,
See, phrasing it that way. Right? See, that's why I phrased it as, it either came about by intelligent design, or it came about without intelligent design, without any intelligent intervention. I don't know that I'm as keen to characterize that as chance, because the perception is like stuff just happened with no rhyme or reason. The universe is ordered and follows rules, and chemistry is the foundation of life, and chemicals interact in certain ways that aren't chance. Maybe chance as to how any two chemicals came in contact, but the interactions between them aren't chance.
Okay, well, it depends. I presume it depends on how far you want to go back. So, I mean, the universe, in so far as the physical realm, I understand science is that it came about from energy. So, cause and effect. I mean, I don't mind getting into the something from nothing a little bit, because I'm actually on your side with all of that. I seem to agree with most of what you say with the something from nothing. But my point is the cause and the effect. So I would say everything is designed. So if you want to say lightning or crystals or chemicals or some type of natural process, I would say that all of that is designed.
And why would you say that?
Yeah, based on an observation would be, my conclusion would be that it's intelligent design. So, but just like the other side of it would be chance. So my conclusion is that it's intelligent design.
I didn't ask what the conclusion was. We've heard the conclusion. I was asking why. Why would you reach that conclusion that everything is designed?
Okay, well, to use all of this in an illustration, if that's all right, I'll try and just be brief. A flat bit of rock in a desert island, you could say the natural processes of rain hitting it, lightning, chemicals and crystals, and given enough time, billions of years, your name Matthew could appear on it by pure chance. And that would be a conclusion, because there would be no science or observation to back that up, to say proof, but there would be the natural processes.
Wait, can I just insert something here? That same example that you just gave, right? According to you, though, even if it just spattered and made like holes in the rock, that would be designed, just like if it spelled Matt. You said everything was designed, right?
Yeah, okay, well, all right, I would say the rain is designed and the lightning is designed
Right, but to you, a rock that just has like rivers and holes and anything carved out of anything from rain is the same as if it spelled out Matt Dillahunty on it. It would be the same to you. You're saying they're the same thing.
Yeah, there are results of certain things that have been put into place. So natural processes that have been put into place. Yes, the water will, given enough time, gradually dent the rock as it flows over it. I don't dispute that, but I'm saying that something that has been specifically, like in the form of life, I would say that there's a chasm between non-living matter and living matter.
Oh, wow.
What is it?
Not like Salvador Dali, thanks, bro.
Well, that living matter is actually amino acids that form 3D protein printers that self-replicate, and that we as intelligent beings, we cannot even copy that design and actually make a 3D protein printer out of amino acids.
Now, wait, before you go on, you do agree that just because people can't do something doesn't mean that that a God has to have done it, correct?
In fact, the fact that we can't do something decreases the likelihood of intelligent design. Because if an intelligence couldn't copy something, then it may be the case that this isn't possible via intelligence.
Or it means that you need more intelligence.
Yeah, sure, I agree. And you've reached the conclusion that the best answer is that you need more intelligence and that this intelligence existed. I'm still wondering why. Because as Tracy pointed out, when you say everything's designed, then you want to start to draw distinctions between living things and non-living things. You think they're both designed.
Right. So there's nothing special about life. In your book, a grain of sand on the beach is just as amazing as a human brain. They're both evidence of design.
Well, I wouldn't put them on the same level, but I would say, yeah, they're both designed insofar as if we were given some energy, we couldn't turn it into a grain of sand. So
I don't know why you keep saying if we. It's like, so what if people can't do something? That to me means nothing in this discussion. Like, chimpanzees can't do things. I don't think it means it requires a God.
But that doesn't mean that,
Go back to the cause and effect. So to have the physical realm, you do need energy. So there's something from nothing, and also cause and effect. So you have to, in order to have physical, how it is and finely tuned. I don't want to get too much into that, but to get the energy into the physical, it wouldn't do that. That's what I'm saying. I'm presuming.
Okay, I don't care about presumptions. Can we agree that the natural world exists?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And so there are things that happen in the natural world. Is there anything that happens in the natural world that isn't the result of intelligent design?
No.
Okay, then I'm sorry, but I don't think that I'm actually interested in having the conversation, because you're basically saying that it's all the same and there's no way to tell the difference, and that you've reached the conclusion that it must be intelligent design. I don't see how you can have any mechanism or any way to demonstrate this, because if we agree that the natural world exists, you and I disagree on whether or not the supernatural world exists. And so I'm sitting here saying the natural world exists and I'm observing it. And if in fact the supernatural exists, the time to believe it is after it's been demonstrated to be real. And you seem to be saying, no, the time to believe it is now, even though I can't offer anything other than my suppositions.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that both of our conclusions have no proof.
No. we haven't. So my conclusion is not there is no supernatural realm. My conclusion is not there is no natural or intelligent design involved in the origin of the universe or life. My conclusion is that I don't see evidence or reason to conclude that either of those are in fact true. This is the issue with science. Science doesn't claim that the supernatural doesn't exist. Science says we can't investigate supernatural existence or causation, so we don't get to include those answers until we have a mechanism by which we can investigate the supernatural and reach a conclusion. Because what's happened here is as soon as you get to appeal to things that you can't demonstrate, they all become equal. So the Christian God, the Muslim God, universe-creating pixies, they are all unfalsifiable propositions that are all sufficient to explain, but then there's been no demonstration that they are necessary to explain.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that.
You don't, though. You don't, because you've included intelligent design.
Yeah, okay, so I've concluded, at this point, I would agree with you that I've concluded intelligent design just by sheer, without any proof. I think that's what we're talking about.
And why would you do that? Would you accept any other conclusion that somebody came to you with without any sort of proof?
Yeah, but I used to accept without any proof that it was all by pure chance as well.
Okay, so you used to think poorly, and you still think poorly, but you reached a different conclusion. I'm asking not what you used to do. I'm saying if somebody came to you with an alternate proposition to what you believe, and they had no more proof than you did, would you accept their proposition, or would you stick with what you've got?
Yeah, I want proof.
Okay, so why is it you don't want proof for what you're currently got?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so why would you believe what you currently believe when you want proof for it but don't have it?
Oh no, he say he's been stuck in traffic the whole time.
Okay.
It'd be too late to get anywhere. He
what's
say
the proof?
his timer saying he'll be here like 9 something now.
Prophecy found in the Bible.
He say it took him 3 hours to go 100 miles because 2 accidents and then regular Friday traffic and everybody trying to go somewhere.
The origin of life, then we get to the origin of everything, and then after
And he does the speed limit, yo.
it's just a supposition that you
The last time we drove down to South Carolina, they let Matthew drive all the way back. I'm like, yo, Matt, you
normally I would just like end it at this point because I'm actually having difficulty believing that you're sincere.
Yeah, Matthew drives slow as shit, yo. He drives like Brandon.
Let's say for
like
a second
where Brandon drive the same way. That motherfucker do the speed limit.
that I have made a prediction and it comes true.
Yeah, if it's 55, the motherfucker gonna do 55.
How did I do that?
Well, 55 seems so slow to me now. I can't hardly drive 55 miles an hour. Not unless I'm in the residential area. And going through the city, I do at least 35, 40. But 55 on the highway, that shit don't even seem right.
Yeah. What else?
If you was unique in that you had the ability to foresee the future.
Sure. If I was able to foresee the future, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, or I can't see any others really.
Well, I could be, as I am, a magician, so I've deceived you in some way into thinking I predicted the future when I didn't.
Yeah, all right, but that, yeah, that.
So there's 3 possibilities. Now, of those 3, do you have good enough information to conclude that I'm actually able to see and predict the future?
My country, Dolly's famous too. Famous Italian motherfucker.
Yeah, but I would have to do the research and whatever you said. But
I'm just saying, there's 3 possibilities. We would have to rule 2 of them out in order to confirm that I can in fact see and predict the future. But let's assume that I can. Let's assume that you've reached the conclusion that I can see and predict the future. How am I able to do that?
The guy on the phone? Yeah, the guy he's talking to on the phone?
Could I have a time machine?
Yeah, well, I suppose I don't fully understand from my point of view.
From my point of view,
God's got the ability to look into the future.
I don't care what God's ability is.
Right, but what Matt's trying to get you to understand is that if you don't know how someone does something, then you're
you drive like an old man.
You're actually begging the question by saying, "Oh, God can do this." I'm saying if I've made a prediction, one of the possibilities is that I can see the future. Now let's go ahead and assume that it's true that I can see the future.
Oh man, I got people in the car with me. It's a different story.
Which I would dispute all day long anyway.
There's people in the car with me.
I can see the future.
But by myself, especially by myself. Like this year alone, I've gotten two.
Able to see the future in a way in which they
I've gotten 2 speeding tickets, but they were both by myself.
So there's
like I drive different with people in the car, yo. Like when I'm by myself, that shit fucking racetrack, nigga, move.
Yo, I
Not only have you concluded
I had Darnell in the car, and my new show, I forgot if they was in the back.
is actually caused by someone being able to see the future.
Normally you the motherfucker
You
I
then
speak with.
concluded that their ability to see the future is necessarily supernatural, and that it correlates with the God that you accept. That's a whole lot of leaps with nothing as the foundation for it.
No, I would say the process is slightly round the other way. That once I saw the fulfilled prophecy that being fulfilled, then I
I ain't gonna lie, I get that shit from Uncle Man.
oh, okay.
But he don't drive like that no more. But shit.
Whatever it says it is.
That's not the other way around. That's exactly the process I'm talking about.
I was like that before.
So you saw fulfilled prophecies, and then you
probably
concluded
the up and down the road and
that
shit.
the best explanation for this was that there was some supernatural agent who was able to see the future.
That's why I drive fast.
Yeah, because the same
drive down to
text
Georgia and
is.
drive back to Maryland like every 6 to 8 weeks.
I'm asking how did you reach the conclusion that the best explanation is that there's a supernatural being who can see the future? How did you rule out the other options?
Because first of all, the text, the communication via text is saying that is the result, but also.
So it's true because it says it's true.
Yes.
No, because
you do realize that there are claims of prophecy in other religions other than the one you accept.
Every accident I've been
I mean, there's Nostradamus as well.
But so people believe those things, and their foundation seems to be on similar footing as to yours. So why wouldn't you accept theirs?
I'm chilling because
I've looked into theirs as well, and the percentage is a lot lower.
So you accept that they're making correct predictions, and rather than worrying about it, you're just going to go with the one that you think has a higher perception. Could it be the case that you're mistaken about what you consider?
I'm curious, like which prophecy it is that's like
space in front of me and behind me. I don't want you too close to me. I don't want you too close
well, it's not just one; it's all of them.
What was the most amazing one? What was the one where you were just like, "Wow, this floors me! I can't believe this was predicted."
Yeah, I like 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1 to 5, talking about the last days of this satanic system.
Yeah, okay, so this is going to be something really vague, right? I mean, go ahead, lay your quote on that book.
It says about people being lovers of themselves, lovers of money, lovers of pleasures rather than lovers of God.
And you think
that
this is a
predicting
prophecy?
the future, like that it wasn't the case even at the time.
Yeah, but it's not just, that on its own, I would agree with you.
See, no. This is a problem because you look at 2 Timothy 3:2-3 or 2 Timothy 3, which is about the end days. You haven't concluded. You have no reason to conclude these are the end days. And people have been saying we're living in the end days every single day for as long as this stuff's been around.
Generations, yeah.
So,
and they point to the same.
And they point to the same verses, and you're saying
about our time.
every time up until this generation, every previous time that somebody's pointed to 2 Timothy 3 and said, "Look, we're living in the end times," they've been wrong. But this time I'm right. I don't think you know how odds work when you start talking about the odds or the likelihood of a number of predictions coming true.
Like. You go down south.
Do you not think people used to be lovers of money?
Bullfinch's mythology, like all the stories about greed.
People are like,
I mean, if you do some research on end times prophecies and claims of this, what you'll find, not only have people been claiming this forever, but people have been pointing out how ridiculous it is to claim this forever, not only because they keep claiming it and it never happens, but also because these things just describe humanity. What's worse for your case is that there's a brilliant book by a guy named Steven Pinker called The Better Angels of Our Nature, which clearly, by actual data, shows that we are living in the best of all times by any measure, other than perhaps a measure of how many people like Jesus.
Yeah, but that's also part of the prophecy that there would be these ones that would say this is a load of rubbish as well.
Yeah. Imagine that. So you think the most amazing prophecy is one that can be applied at any time by anybody. And when people point out that it can be applied by any time at anybody, the prophecy says there will be people who point this out. Well, what if I sat here and said, John, I am God, and I know there are people who are going to tell you that's not true. Would you then believe I'm God?
Especially if you went out and told people and they said that's not true.
Where you first coming in?
How did he know that?
And that's what you're talking about here. You're believing a prophecy. You're seeing that it seems to be be with your observation.
J. Cole, nigga?
This is more of it's true because it says it's true.
Too fast, but I go pretty far.
I love the game theory aspect of it. That's exactly what we'd expect people to say. If it was a true prophecy, we'd expect them to say that it couldn't possibly be true.
Are these original bars?
Yeah, but it's like saying if you had to meet someone at the airport just with a green T-shirt on, then that wouldn't be enough detail because there'd be loads of that.
It might be enough, depending on which airport you're at.
But I mean, I understand what he's saying, and I would say that loving money falls into the green shirt category.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So what I'm saying is...
And boastful, right?
Online today, and guess what?
And proud and abusive. Is there anything in this list? Boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness. Apart from the decline in religion, are there any of those that wouldn't have applied at almost any other time in history?
Yeah, I understand your point because I used to say the same thing, so I agree with you. And let's take that as yes. But there's other stuff. So the blue jeans would be another prophecy. For example, an increase in earthquakes in the last days as well. So you couldn't just have that one. You would have to have all of them, all at the same time.
The problem here's the problem with prophecy. First of all, it needs to be specific and answerable by a single instance. If it can be answerable at any time, in any way, in many different ways, it can't be prone to interpretation. It needs to be specific. If I go in and order a medium rare steak and they bring me a medium rare steak, the waiter isn't fulfilling prophecy. It can't be something that's public knowledge that people are working towards. Okay? And at the end of all of that, even if you and I were to agree, this passage in 2 Timothy is fulfilled prophecy. We still don't have evidence to conclude how this came to be prophesied and fulfilled.
But just so you know, I'll be in here
we can't
listening
get
to
to
the
that
damn
point.
board
What you're
tops
talking
and shit
about
like that,
here
so
is something that is utterly mundane and trivial.
Angela said, did
I do have to
everyone
say I
watch Halloween
expected a
Kills today?
different quote.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's
don't
a
watch
lot
no
of
shit
them
about no
that
Halloween.
come up, and that was not what I expected.
Yeah, I don't do Halloween either. I just got
there's
invited to an
mundane,
event,
like
and
Jesus,
it's a Halloween
garments
feast
being
event. It's a
cast
costume party. So
lots for. That is mundane.
Halloween Kills?
All of this is
No.
deliberately difficult.
I never heard that shit.
All of this is deliberately difficult proof. Because God could easily, like he has in
lots for the clothes. We don't even know that occurred. I mean, that's a
I'm not big on like Halloween movies or Christmas movies or no kind of like
yeah, but it is
religious
mundane,
shit.
and that's why.
Right, but I mean,
all that woo shit.
You can't
Good.
point to prophecies that are fulfilled by stories that we.
I watched that motherfucking Squid Games though.
Yeah, see, the difference here is that you seem to be easily impressed by claims of prophecy, and I'm not.
But I don't see how they would have been able to do a continuation.
It's just a miniseries.
Yeah, it was just a long movie.
Dylan, what do you mean deliberately difficult?
Now.
You mean that? Are you saying that God is intentionally making it difficult to accept?
No, not difficult to accept, but difficult to understand and to have
Patrick
as
said 5 murders
proof.
with a bow.
So God could present
Oh, that's the dude in fucking Norway. Halloween Kills? Why you say that? The guy in Norway killed the 5 people with the bow yesterday or the day before?
That would be a hard thing to accept.
Well,
Yeah,
Angela,
okay.
who just popped in to
All
the
right, let's
stream,
take all of that as
their
true.
question.
I actually agree with
Everyone
that.
watched
So,
Halloween Kills
they're like if, for example,
Oh no, I don't know if they're talking about 2 different things.
or your hand,
Alright.
you hear a
Patrick
voice
came back
in
and
the
said
air,
5 murders with a bow
and then your
Oh yeah.
hand turn
That shit
into
happened in
leprosy
Norway,
and
yeah.
back into your
I thought that was
clothes.
the same person making the comments.
Yeah, he was chiming in. So
Yeah.
they were chiming in to.
And then one of the members of parliament got stabbed to death in the church somewhere.
It's not funny.
But then once again, like I say, you gotta get the guns off the streets. More gun restrictions, gun laws. Motherfucker gonna kill you with a bow and arrow, or a fucking knife, or a broken bottle, or fucking a thin piece of wire that'll choke you and cut your fucking esophagus open, or with their bare hands, or throw you off a building. Or there's tons of ways to kill motherfuckers. I'll put some shit in your fucking food. Guns ain't the only way.
Excuse me.
And
Exactly.
that shit is so easy to kill a nigga. He killed 5 people with a bow. A bow. An arrow.
First of all, Raw better give you a job after this. To
And-
design something for them, because I'm just saying.
And that shit
How you make it look better than the original?
silent as fuck, yo. Silent weapons. This lettering is getting to me.
It looks good. Bronx said Halloween movies ran out of good ideas halfway in the parks.
Man, yo, all my shit still from my childhood, yo. Halloween, the original Halloween, the original Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yo,
the original
I did like that
Jason,
one.
Friday the 13th.
But what was the one that wasn't scary that everybody loved? And I'm trying to think of it. She had red hair and she was a witch. I can't think of that shit, but that was a good one.
The original what that shit was? Pinhead? What the name of that shit was, yo? With the Pinhead dude in it. Hellraiser. The original Hellraiser movie. The original Puppet Master movie. What else was kind of spooky back in the day, yo? The original Pet Cemetery. Like
That was spooky.
Yeah.
That Pet Cemetery was spooky.
I done had all the horrors as a kid, yo. It's hard to
Were
fucking
y'all
scare.
scared of the leprechaun?
Nah, I was already too grown for that shit by then, yo. And like I said, man, my horror movies as a kid, them shits traumatized me. But now, like, these movies are just like, I just think they
So when
funny.
did the original Pennywise come out? Didn't the original one come out in like the 70s or 80s?
That shit came out like the mid late 80s, the first It movie.
Okay, right. So
Stephen King, yeah.
okay. I was traumatized by it for the longest. I was a little girl, and my brothers made me watch that shit all the way through.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the week, they tormented me every time I went past like a little drain or like no. For years, that was my shit. I don't know, out of everything. Like, you weren't scared of it?
Nope.
Yo, I was terrified. And then like the new Pennywise is not as scary as the old one, in my opinion. But Bronx said bow and arrow guy had the element of surprise.
That shit is silent, yo.
That's what Puff just said. Silent weapons for quiet wars. Killer Army. I was listening to that album at work today.
Not the Killer Army. Yeah.
Element of surprise. Silent weapons. Quiet wars. Puff said The Last of Us video game TV show is coming out.
Oh my god. Why?
But he won't play Resident Evil in VR. Turns on all the lights in the house after.
You ain't supposed to tell nobody that shit. Yo, ban this nigga. Yo, ban this nigga. Somebody block his comments.
Puff, he told me to block you.
What the hell, bro? It's like, nah, everybody know that. I ain't ashamed to say that shit.
Oh,
It's
scary.
the
ass.
fact that it was in VR, man.
Yo, Puff, why you tell me that? Why you tell me that? That is hilarious. Yo.
Okay, well you play Resident Evil in VR, see how far you get.
I will. I surely will. I don't even like that VR. When I did that one, my whole everything was off. My head was spinning afterwards. I was like, who the fuck does this? Anaki said you should travel here to Europa and visit Spain and Italy.
Oh no.
I need to understand English. Your English is good.
Come to Spain and Italy. I don't know. I might. Hey man, yo, Italy.
Come to America.
Man, Italy, ain't y'all over there rioting and whatnot right now? Oh, bro, I ain't trying to come over there with all them riots, man. Y'all going crazy right now.
Bronx said, Prince, look out. Your shadow's in the back of you.
Oh damn.
I'm dead. Oh, I missed the comment. Bronx said all the good movies get sequel to death. Sequel to death, or the sequel, and the sequel's never as good as the first one too. And normally the first movie is the best, with certain exceptions.
No, I normally always like the movie the best, the first one.
I mean, yeah, not always, but
And most trilogies can't even make it all the way through. You know?
I mean, like, I like The Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Matrix, John Wick, like, but there's always one that I like the
Man,
most.
Keanu Reeves,
Men
my
in
nigga,
Black.
yo, and goddamn, both of those shit, like, the second Matrix was whack, the second fucking John Wick was whack. It's like you just keep giving this dude a reason to kill
Excuse
people,
me,
yo.
Don't come for John Wick. That's one of my favorite movies.
It's just a shoot 'em up.
He be fucking shit up, and it's Keanu.
And what you call it did it the best, yo. The name of his movie is Shoot 'Em Up. What the nigga name is? Clive Owen. Y'all ain't never seen Clive Owen, John. Motherfucker walking around eating the carrot.
No, eating the carrot. You're welcome, Anaki. You should come check out America, maybe. I don't know.
Hey man, once y'all finish tearing that government up and setting in some new agendas, I'll come over there then, yo.
Right.
Cause y'all about to make some real change over there.
Ooh, Puff said, I'm waiting on the new Matrix. So are we, but
Oh yeah, I'm waiting on the new Matrix too. But that second one,
to be disappointed.
the second one was booty.
Booty. Yeah, and I think this is gonna be like the tissue that wipes the booty.
They was like, so what can we do this time? Let's fight on the ceiling. And I'm like, really? And what else? Let's have some Ghost Brothers. I'm like, okay. The Merovingian and the Keymaker.
Bronx said Godfather 2 and Terminator 2, the only good sequels.
There you go. T2 was good. Yo, man, I didn't even think about that shit. T2 was better than the first one, bro. With the Liquid Terminator, man, and T1000. But that shit was better than the original movie to me. And I ain't never watched it.
Alright, I was just saying, like, on a general thing, like this new Coming to America shit. Like, it's not the original Coming to America.
That shit. Yo, we still have yet to watch that shit. We tried it.
It was okay.
We tried it in, like, what, 20 minutes into it?
I wanted to support it because it was a black cast, and a lot of the people...
Tyler Perry filmed it on his set. And
I like that Tyler Perry, you know, people be like, oh, he's gay, oh, he's this, whatever. Tyler Perry done put so many people on, so even if he's not your cup of tea, he got it from the bottom.
Yo, he was talking
to other people get on.
He was talking to T.I. about that shit too. T.I. was
that's
asking him like, why you wear a dress, yo?
Tyler Perry, like, yo, he might have wore a dress, you might, whatever, he might, even if he is gay.
He was like, T.I. said, well, you know how Hollywood try to get man to wear dresses and all this.
Yeah,
and
but he wasn't the first person to do it.
No. His thing is like, yo, I wasn't even in Hollywood, nigga. Ain't nobody forced me to do that shit. I ain't had no contracts or no sign, nothing. Those was my own plays, and I came up with that character myself. Nobody forced me to do that shit. He's like, now, and when I do Hollywood movies where he was the one detective, Arthur, I don't know.
Somebody is cackling.
He played the one detective, and he was just a dude. He don't play like women roles and no other shit except his Medea shit. So I get it, but at the same time, I hate seeing that nigga dress like a woman.
Yeah, like, and I get it. Like, you don't want to, demasculate or emasculate the black man, but at the same time, like, Martin Lawrence was Big Mama.
And I ain't like that shit either.
But it's hilarious though. Like, I hate it too, yo. But Big Mama is like a corny classic. Like,
I don't even think I watched that shit all the way through.
I've seen all the Big Mamas.
I know for a fact I ain't never seen part 2, yo.
I mean, I've seen the Parkers, Big Mama, like the actual Martin show. Like I've seen everything. Like anything that's like black TV or black shows, I've seen it. I don't know, like Big Mama is corny, but it's cute and it's for its time. You know what I mean? It's one of those like Bad Boys. I don't know. So it's like Martin did it, and who else? Jamie Foxx did it.
Yeah, everybody did that shit, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was for
Eddie Murphy did it.
But that's when they were on TV.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
Rasputia, that's a classic movie. Did he take it too far because he wore a fat suit?
No, he wore the fat suit before.
But that's what Martin did when he was Big Mama. He wore a fat suit, and then they put a wig on him. Like Tyler Perry kind of just like became a woman. Like his is definitely different from theirs because they just put on fat suits.
And that's what he said too. He was like, I ain't play like the ratchet, like all the other guys play like these weird ratchet ass characters. Even when the Wayans brothers.
Oh, like yeah, when Martin was Shanae and the Wayans brothers, yeah.
And then I don't know, but he made it make sense. I get it. Like yo.
But that's it was his thing, and I think too when you're comfortable in your skin, you're able to do things like that because it is a double standard. Because I wouldn't just get up there and start like doing lesbian roles or like cast myself as a lesbian when I'm straight. But if they wanted me to like dress up as a man for some shit and I'm getting that dough, like I will be whatever. Draw the mustache on me, I'll be whoever you need me to be. Straight up. So it is kind of like a double standard. And it's like the same thing with the guy who died, Michael, that kissed the man, but he said he was straight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I don't know, where do you draw the line at? I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Perry swung the other way. But, like I said, he's...
I mean, a lot of Hollywood people keep their relationships private, but you've never seen Tyler with a woman, yo.
He has a son. Him and the woman were together for a while, but that's the thing. That could be his beard. Like I said, we don't know. But for me personally, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I just respect the fact that he's helped his community when he could have helped other people. And he still casts like light-skinned people or white people, but he always has brown-skinned and dark-skinned people in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the only thing is like they're dramas. Like, so it kind of like, even though he says that, like, oh, you're not ghetto, you're not ratchet, at the same time, you're still like casting black people in these situations. And it's like, you're this lawyer, but everybody else is just like in squalor at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like the one chick's getting her ass whooped, like, but they're good stories though. So it's like, I just respect his artistry and leave it at that. Like, his art. Let's see. Waiting on the new Matrix. Puff said got Shoot 'Em Up on DVD, bruh. It's fire.
That is a classic movie, yo. Everything Clive Owen touches is a classic, yo. People underestimate him as an actor, yo. The Inside Man, Shoot 'Em Up, The Inside Man, Children of Man, not the Patriot, the Politician, the something, yo. Oh, I can't think of the name of that movie. And then what was his other shit, yo? I done seen like at least 5 or 6 movies for Clive Owen. All them shit's been fire, yo. He ain't never slip on nothing like.
Now I gotta watch Shoot 'Em Up.
Yo, Shoot 'Em Up, yo, is a classic.
I feel like I've seen it.
You probably did, cause that shit was fucking popping when it came out, yo.
Yeah, Shoot 'Em Up.
But it's like, and then he goes to the chick, the prostitute chick who's breastfeed. she still breastfeed motherfuckers that for their kinks and shit.
It's so gross.
Like, what the fuck? Who got mommy issues that bad? And bitch, how you keep
That's
lactating?
like your show when a dude was drinking the milk. The Boys. You thinking real hard about that shit right now?
What?
The Boys?
The Boys?
When he was drinking milk?
Oh yeah, from the lady, the old lady.
That was his mommy?
Mm-hmm.
Oedipus. Let's see. Patrick said, my reading English is good. Hard to understand speaking because accent. Yes,
True.
We have accents. Sorry. Puff said, you need to play the video game and watch the Animatrix to understand the second Matrix.
Man, I played all the video games and I had the Animatrix, bro. Had
He
that
said
shit.
the same lady that wrote The Matrix wrote Terminator. Killer Priest from Wu-Tang interviews her on his podcast all the time.
Yeah, the black lady.
Mm-hmm.
the Wachowski brothers definitely stole her idea for their screenplay.
That's crazy. Bronx says Lawrence Fishburne in a Matrix sequel? No thanks. Really? That's how you feel, Bronx? And then Puff said Eddie Griffin turned down Wong Fu and they got Wesley Snipes. Turned down 2 Wong Fu and they got Wesley Snipes. Eddie said he wasn't wearing a dress after that.
Yeah, a lot
Eddie
of.
Griffin's my favorite comedian, Puff said.
Yeah, he ain't put that dress on. And you say, but it was the other big black dude too, Bing Rames. He was in that movie, ain't it? 2 Wong Fu. Both of them motherfuckers, big black motherfuckers, dressed some damn dresses and goddamn lipstick and shit on. And then that motherfucker played a gay singer and some other shit, man.
Where?
I think Bing Rames, he played like a
Oh, it was on Holiday Heart.
Holiday Heart. That's what
That's a classic movie.
Yeah, he did that role, and he was in that other movie Puff
Want
just
some
said.
sausage?
He was in that other shit dressed like a damn woman.
Yo, he did that shit so well though.
And then he gonna beat up Jody.
And butt naked cooking mama some sausage.
Yeah.
That's why I said he could do both so well. Like he was in touch with his feminine energy as well, but he still was like a big manly man.
Well, I ain't never seen that one scene. That motherfucker smoked the blunt through his nose. I said, "Damn, let me try this shit."
Yo, don't have no nostrils left.
I ain't never seen motherfuckers smoke the blunt through their nose, nigga.
They have no nostrils left. Anaki said my biggest problem is listening because it's very difficult for me. Patrick said I should try Watchdog. Must be a great game.
Oh yeah, I got all of them. Even the last one that came out, Watch Dogs Legion, dope game, yo. Matter of fact, I might play some Watch Dogs Legion tonight. I ain't played it in a minute because I've been playing new games.
Patrick said, would you paint it? Would you paint Watchdog?
I did just paint Watch Dogs.
Same here. Puff. Boondocks. Tyler Perry was hilarious. Tyler Perry on the Boondocks? I don't know if I remember that episode. So Anaki is from Spain and Patrick is from France. What? France, we love you. Your cigarettes are cheap. A lot of things are cheap in Spain and prostitution is legal. Okay. Puff said Children of Man, when no babies were being born. Got that on DVD too. Bro.
Yep, that's one for the collection, bro. That's a collectible. Like I'm telling you, he put out that heat, man. He put out some shit you want to keep in your collection, yo. That Clyde, and that's why I'm mad I lost my DVD collection because I definitely had a copy of that shit. The same two you got. I had Shoot 'Em Up and motherfucking Children of Man on DVD, yo. And that some go-to movies, niggas come over the crib and bored, like, yo, you ever seen this movie? I got my other 2 go-to movies is goddamn Old Country for No Men. If you ain't never seen that shit, yo, like, yo, you gotta watch this shit, bro. Or, what was that shit, motherfucking, Dynamite? What the name of that comedy movie is, yo? I can't think of that shit down. That shit with Michael Jai White. What was the name of that shit, yo? I got that shit on DVD. My mind going blank, yo.
Puff said Bing been sus since Pulp Fiction and The Gift. Google it.
Yo, that Pulp Fiction when that man raped him, yo.
That's not funny.
Yo, he take all them scenes like that. He don't give a fuck, man. He's like, yeah, I'll play that part.
Yo, but that's the thing. He's acting and he's comfortable in his sexuality. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I would feel if I was what's her name? I think her name's Tasha Williams. She's in a lot of the Tyler Perry movies. I don't know how I would feel if I was with that guy Michael and he was constantly kissing men on camera. Like, I'm not homophobic, but at the same time, like,
My God, why you got another role as
can't y'all just do the fake kiss? Why y'all gotta do the real
a
kiss?
DL nigga?
Yeah, like, can't y'all? I watched some little videos of when people act and when you grab their face, but you really put your thumbs right there, so you don't really kiss. Why can't y'all do that?
It don't look real.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's to each their own. If you kiss a man and you're not gay and you're comfortable in that, then you're not gay. The only thing that makes somebody gay is if they're gay. But I just Ving, I don't know. Like, you want to go shopping together, boo? You sure? You trying to go have some spa days? Oh, I wasn't talking to you, boo boo. I know, I said your name. I wasn't talking to you.
She like, ain't nobody else in your name, boo.
I know, she straight came over here. That bath did you good, mama. You still shiny. You still shiny. You look like a pageant dog. You look like a pageant dog, little. Alright. She not shedding as much either.
Alright, I done got 2 hours. I did a lot of lettering today. It's an after work stream and it's Friday, but it's hot in here right now. I think I'm about to go chill, have another drink, and wait on my cousin. Hope I can stay up. I feel kind of sleepy.
Puff said Old Country got it on DVD also. I worked at a pawn shop, bro. I have a crazy DVD
I can
collection.
imagine, nigga.
He said my boss would let us get those shits for free. Doom. Don't even, Puff.
We got the original Doom? Honestly, man.
Children of Doom, Kulo, It, etc. 8 huge boxes.
I never seen that Children of Doom. I tried to YouTube like this other Doom series they had on Sci-Fi Channel back in the day, but that shit just looked corny as fuck, though. I'd rather just read the book again instead of watching that shit. That's why I'm hoping on the 22nd when they put this new Doom movie out, man, they do that shit justice because the story is powerful. It's a powerful ass fucking story, yo. And like, it's hard, like that. Just the first Doom book itself needs a Lord of the Rings type trilogy, yo. And each book needs a trilogy to go with it. To really understand that shit, yo. Doom Messiah and Children of Doom, like all them shits need 3 movies apiece. I mean, the Lord of the Rings, look, it took fucking 3-hour movies to tell that fucking story. 3-hour movies. It was 9 hours to tell one fucking story, yeah. But that's what's needed sometimes, yo. And Doom really deserves that type of energy, yo. But I know they're not gonna do it because you can tell from the previews, like, they run through the whole story in just this one fucking movie. Even if it is 2.5 hours long, you're not gonna get everything, yo. You're not gonna get it. Isaac Asimov's Foundation. Isaac Arthur from Science and Futurism always talks about Asimov's Foundation series, but I listened to one audiobook so far. It was pretty dope too. About the machine world where everybody lives underneath the surface of the planet, like in this middle machine city, and nobody ever goes to the surface. Bruh. I'm good.
Muy bonito.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Bill.
That looks so good. I'm so dead though, just at like the general wording, like when you actually read that shit, could cause infertility, stillbirth, and low birth weight.
At least
Smoke at your own risk. And it's only valid. Well, that's a compliment.
Just like that. Yeah, I'm loving this piece. Like I said, I had to go back and redo the letters on there because I really wasn't feeling it. I really do think I just rushed that part the other day, and I shouldn't have did that. And so now we're back on track. So I'm come back and straighten some of these letters out. Like I'm gonna have to slim that R up right there, but I know that, and it's not terrible. And the positioning looks decent enough. And then come back and put sweets back here again, but make sure it's a little bit more centered. There's a little bit more lettering. There's like the leaves on the top flap. Underneath on the bottom flap where the shadow is at, there's actually leaves on that too. So I'm gonna have to use two different greens and use a darker green in the shadow and a lighter green on that rim light right there. So I'll start there tomorrow and try to wrap this packaging up, and then we'll flip the canvas the other way and then fill in the lettering on this package, and then we'll drop back down again. I did try to put a little highlights here on the lid. There's not much left to this lid, but I do want to detail the plant here and here a little more. And then there is some small writing on the scale that needs some lettering there. You know, I'm really almost finished with this shit, bro.
My favorite part right now is the raw pack. It looks so good. Like I could just reach in and just grab it. That's crazy.
And that has some highlighting to do. Like the packaging has a tie on it, but it's actually a light colored tie, but it has a shadow behind it. So I put the dark down first, and then I'll come back and put the light strip on top of it, and then
made this shit look better than the original. Like the original just looks so dull now. Now I'm always gonna just look at this and be like, all right, time to step y'all shit up. Y'all need to pay somebody.
So I can smell that damn thing.
Smell it. The colors are just immaculate, and yes, the detail, of course. Glad those pens came in handy. It's just so basic.
So if people think like, oh, where do you get the picture from? Here's the same jar and lid, tray, lighter. My other grinders are downstairs, but still basically the same pack of papers, the same pack of rolling tips. So that is like my legit tray. That's definitely my tray.
It's so realistic, I can smell it.
But we stopped smoking cigars a while ago, so I don't even have Swisher Sweets in the house no more.
Yo, yeah, that's a big accomplishment that we had this year.
Yeah, like we don't even stress that shit at all, and to the point where like we had company over. Her brother was over smoking some backwoods. We didn't even ask to hit that shit. Yo, he got to smoke. He got to smoke his whole
smoke
blunt.
with us.
Yeah.
We didn't get to smoke with him.
Yeah, he was hitting our joints, but when he lit the backwood, we ain't even like crave that shit at all. Like smoke, go ahead, bro, smoke good.
Because when we went down south, we tried it once, and our throats were hurting so bad.
Oh yeah, my cousin homeboy said
we literally.
I don't even think I hit that shit. When I said, "Is that a backwood?" I think I just passed that shit.
Do
back
you remember
to him,
like 2 days later, I was like, I wonder if I have COVID. That's how bad it was. I was like,
backwood, man.
The tobacco, yeah, that was my accomplishment for this year, and yours. Yes.
Oh, it's a lemon.
Congratulate us on that, Puff.
Some limes in there. Them lime wedges.
Anaki says, I like your lives. Your stream, I guess. That boy got a lemon slice. Y'all know he's spoiled. Got pre-sliced lemon slices and limes and shit downstairs. Just take your pick.
Yo, chilling at the bar. fucking super big ass fucking fancy ass bar, yo. This was right before the fashion show.
Patrick said cheers.
Cheers, bro.
I'm mad the old lady's cheering at you like a piece
It's
of
like,
meat.
whoa! Woo! They did that for everybody. They really boost everybody's confidence, though.
Okay.
They really did.
Because them old ladies was like,
Yeah, they shouted and clapped for everybody. I was like, please don't be silent when I come out there. And they like, I don't know. I think they kind of like put it on a little bit, but that haberdashery. Then there was another one. I don't got that one in there, but. Welcome to another episode of Electric City Television's Roundtable Discussions. I'm your host, Travis Prince, and today my guest is Eric Bassart. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Hey, Travis. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. So, really, really big honor to have you here. You're kind of like one of my favorite local artists. So, for the viewers who aren't familiar with you, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from, where you grew up at, what school you went to, some things like that.
Sweet. Thanks, man. My name's Eric Bussard. I'm a local illustrator and mural artist.
So, yeah. So I do a real TV show as well. Kind of like, it's like this, but me interviewing people. Like this where I could be more chill and shit, and I can say shit. But I do like a real syndicated show. So if you guys are on my YouTube channel, this is your first time coming to stream, definitely go to the YouTube. Oh, damn, I don't have the link to that episode yet to put on my channel. But I do got some new episodes up there. But I'll definitely have that new episode up there soon, yo. Alright, like I say, it's hot. We did a good couple hours in here.
What's that? What?
I don't know who this is.
What is it?
I don't know. This might be my homie, yo. He said he'll be out in Wilkes-Barre this Sunday in Scranton currently for my buddy's shop opening. Let's try to get together.
The guy you did the painting for?
No, my skateboard homie who broke his arm.
Oh.
What's
Eric?
854 or 845? No name on this contact. Who's this?
Cold as fuck said, how old are you guys? I'm 39. Tobacco got a hold on me.
Oh, I'm 40.
And
I still smoke from time to time, like cigarettes, but I'm not a heavy cigarette smoker, and I really be trying to get that shit up, yo. Like, I don't have cigarettes now. Like, right now, I haven't smoked a cigarette today because I don't have a pack, and it's not like, oh, I gotta go grab a pack of cigarettes. You know, I can go, like, days without smoking cigarettes, and then I don't know, just get the urge, and I'll get a pack, and then that shit'll last me, like, a week. Like, I don't smoke a pack of cigarettes in, like, 1 or 2 days, or even 3 days. Like, it takes me a while to smoke a pack of cigarettes, and then sometimes...
And you waste them.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even smoke a whole cigarette. I just hit that shit a couple times. Maybe I smoke a half a cigarette. Sometimes I smoke a whole cigarette. Sometimes I smoke less than half a cigarette, just like, throw that shit out. You know? That shit don't really, I don't know, that shit don't really faze me like that. That's why it's weird that I just don't, but I have stopped smoking cigarettes for like, the longest I went was almost 2 years, yo. It was longer than a year and a half with no cigarettes at all. And I've been really stopped smoking blunts like years and years ago, so I wasn't smoking any tobacco at all, yo. You're a president of the TV programs.
Present the door.
That's who it was. Motherfucking Steve. Yo, my man. Yo, slide through, nigga.
Cold as fuck said every day since I was 12. You just gotta take it one day at a time. That's all. The longer you out of habit, the harder it is to break it. What I did with smoking tree, I made sure I did something productive first. So then, like, when I smoked, that shit was my reward. So I wasn't just smoking. Like, you know, it doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes you just deserve a cigarette or a blunt or whatever. But if you realize, like, you're just smoking just to smoke because you just want a cigarette sandwich, like, nah, go do something productive. And then 9 times out of 10, by the time you come back, you ain't gonna want that shit anyway. Or if you do, you actually worked for it. And then it kind of creates, like, a reward system. And you reward yourself for doing something. And at the same time, you're cutting back on what you don't want to do.
Oh, yeah. And even when I do have cigarettes, like on the weekends, I really don't smoke cigarettes. Like, I don't be having the need for that shit. Maybe, like, if I'm grilling and I'm having a drink outside.
We all got habits. I drink liquor. I'm not judging anybody. It's just don't do that shit to where it's, you know, so much. Like, I don't think you have a bad habit. Like some people.
I don't, but it's still, I know, like, I'm 40, I'm getting older, and that shit is not healthy for you. I mean, your lungs ain't built to breathe smoke in, period. You know what I'm saying? That's why people are like, oh, I do edibles or blah, blah, blah. And I get that, but you ain't supposed to inhale no kind of smoke. Your lungs made for oxygen. So.
Can I just say I love how CBD oil makes my body feel? It gives me no high whatsoever, and it doesn't make your body feel high either, but it just feels nice.
Never tried it.
But yeah, cold as fuck. It's just one day at a time, yo. Even if it's just saying, you know what, on this cigarette, I'm gonna take 2 less hits on it, and then you'll get to the point where you take 4 less hits. It's just baby steps.
Right. Matthew, like 2.5 hours out, 3 hours out. He driving through New York.
Okay.
Going on the Golden State Parkway. That's about 2.5 hours away from here, yeah.
Okay.
Yo, my cousin coming through. One of my homies. This nigga live in New York. He over around this way this weekend. This motherfucker stood me up last time he came through. He's like, oh, I come to Wilkesboro. I got some homies over there. We're gonna go skateboarding and shit. They went skateboarding all day and they never come holler at me. Just come for 30 minutes. Smoke a blunt, nigga. Just let me see your face. Shit. I don't be wanting to chill for hours and hours and hours neither, nigga. You good? You good people. Just chill for a minute. Look, happy to see you. Happy you doing good. You got a good job. I said this motherfucker done broke a leg bone and an arm bone in the same fucking year on that skateboarding shit. He getting too old. I'm about to stop skating and shit. As soon as he get his cast off his damn arm, this motherfucker in the skate park. They say I'm going back to the hookah they get.
I don't know. I mean, you can smoke cigarettes for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're different.
Alright, gang. Like I said, it's warm as shit up here. And I knew that shit too. I was like, as soon as I take these ACs out the window, why should we get another little warm spell? We ain't got no ACs. Only got one AC in the window right now.
This way, my girl.
Niggas out there jamming.
Why y'all turn that shit on? Oh, there you go.
Alright, yeah, appreciate y'all chilling in the studio with us, watching the progress on these paintings, coming up with some new still lifes for the 2021. Catch y'all next time. Peace.